Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors on the backboards behind me. If you are going to do a big business, then please keep it in the Millwall family and check out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. Okay, this has got to be done. It's a post-match analysis video for yesterday's absolutely heartbreaking, deflating, dejecting home defeat to Brighton in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. We went out 5-4 on penalties after it finishing 2-2 after extra time. Fuck me. Let's take a look at the 11 that Neil Harris picked to start the match. So hopefully now the penny has finally dropped for the gaffer and we didn't go back to 4-4-2. We played absolutely the right formation yesterday, and it was Dave Martin in goal, Marlon Romeo at right back, Shane Ferguson at left back, Jake Cooper with Pearce alongside him. It was Ryan Tunnicliffe, Ryan Leonard and Sean Williams as a central three. Aidan O'Brien played wide left, Jed Wallace played wide right, and up front as a lone striker it was Lee Gregory. There's so much to talk about. Where do we start? When it started the game, first half, I felt the better side. Brighton probably had the more clear-cut chances, but we played a lot of good football. We played with high intensity. The crowd were on side. It was everything we was expecting it to be from a Millwall Cup performance and everything we usually get from a game when we play a Premiership side at the Den. We just didn't have that final, that cutting edge in the final third. I think Lee Gregory hooking one over the bar was probably as close as we came. But we got the balls wide in right areas. We got the balls in the box, and we was physical on the pitch. We was intense with our approach, and it worked. It looked like the team that was playing at the Den last season. So we move into the second half, and don't worry, it's not going to be a short video. There is a lot to talk about. This is where we really upped our game. The heavens opened up and it started pissing down as well, and the last time it pissed down that heavily at the Den, it cast my mind back to Everton in the fourth round, and I thought maybe that the footballing gods were smiling down on South Bermondsey. We didn't need the footballing gods. We was absolutely superb in the second half. Every single player were brilliant. The 11 that started. Ryan Leonard was bursting through the centre of midfield, making attacking runs and running at the heart of the defence. Tunnicliffe was superb. Williams in there with him. Jed was his usual energetic, superb self. Aidan O'Brien, for me, is more of a starter than he is coming on as a sub, and he's definitely not forward. He was brilliant yesterday, Aidan. I liked him cutting in from out wide, and we deservedly took the lead on the 70th minute, I believe it was. Corner comes in, and it's better for us when Williams floats than corners in, and Fergie doesn't whip him in. Fergie's got a beautiful delivery, but it suits our game and our attack, the way we attack corners with the height of the back two. It suits us more, and Williams floats one in. The Brighton defence have obviously done their own work, and they're concentrating on Juicy Jake. They block him off. Possible foul from Cooper as well, where he leans into Glenn Murray, and it allows Alex Pearce to come in at the back post unmarked to score his first goal for the club. The Den's absolutely delirious. It was rocking in there yesterday, and that was the heartbreaking thing for me. That was, if Brighton had turned up and rolled us 3-0, it was half what I was expecting to happen. It wouldn't have bothered me. We've got to concentrate on the league, yes, but to get to that stage where, we scored a second, let's get on to it. Brilliant work from Jed. His first delivery doesn't come off. He wins the ball back from tireless work. He puts it across, and the onion bag comes in, and he's reborn. The onion bag returns, and it was an open goal, yes, but it was a very difficult finish in difficult weather conditions, with a man up his arse, leaning all over him. There weren't a lot of goal for Aidan O'Brien to hit. He's running towards the ball, and he steers it beautifully into an empty net, and it's pandemonium, mate. It's the best I've ever seen it at the Den in a long time. Better than Leicester, probably better than Bradford in the playoffs a couple of years ago. It was madness. Just bodies everywhere, absolutely superb. The noise was deafening. When K Sarah, whatever will be, was getting rung around the ground. We're 2-0 up, and if we had took a 2-0 lead early in the first half, you could have more understood Brighton coming back into the game. There's not been a goal there until the 70th minute, and it was no more than we deserved when we got it. It looks like we've killed the game off. It didn't look like they had any way back into the game. Dave Martin made a couple of saves, nothing, more than I expect my goalkeeper to make. Then this is where the problem begins. For me personally, the problem doesn't exist, because Neil Harris did exactly what I would have done in the same situation. I've done exactly the same. I know it's only kids football, but we was winning the game 2 weeks ago 1-0. We was under all sorts of pressure, and I started making subs every 2 minutes just to kill the time, kill the tempo of the game, kill the atmosphere, and not allow any flow to the opposition's play. They get one back. They start coming on to us, yes. But what people got to expect, people say, well, we sat back and we allowed them on. They're a Premiership side getting embarrassed on TV, let's have it right, by a team that's nearly bottom of the Championship. And they've got to pull something out of the bag. Especially in the Cup. There's no other option. There is no draw. They've got to try and get something out of the game. So they're going to come forward, Brighton. They're going to up their game. They're going to up their tempo. They're a Premiership side. They should be a class above us, and that's why they've got back into the game yesterday. They have. Although we've allowed them back in, they have showed their class there by putting pressure on, like Man United did against Swansea the day before, and they've got back into the game for a goal. It was in a wide area, not really doing a lot, was it? It was a free kick. And listen, he played very well yesterday, but Ryan Tunnicliffe's got to do so much more. He's got spun for that shot so easily. He's got his back to goal. The Brighton player's got his back to goal. Tunnicliffe just let him turn him and shoot. He should definitely be tighter and be stronger. But I'm not knocking Tunnicliffe. He done very well yesterday. He's played well the last few games and deserves his place in the side. Then the one small criticism I can have for Harris is that leading to that first goal, he takes off Aidan O'Brien. And listen, Aidan wouldn't have lasted all of extra time. I love Aidan, but he doesn't always look the fittest of players. He's not the quickest of players. And with the difficult conditions yesterday and how high and intensely we was playing and putting pressure on them, he wouldn't have lasted the whole of extra time. But he's brought on James Meredith, and James Meredith had a fantastic season for us last season, but his legs are gone, he's at his depth, and he should never have come on that pitch yesterday. The shame thing about it was, and again you've got to defend the gaffer, a hero in the 5th round and the 4th round, Murray Wallace, a left back that would have probably played, if not definitely come on, instead of Meredith, he's out for the rest of the season. So I can see completely why Harris has made the subs. I completely see it. The only one sub I wouldn't have made there is I wouldn't have made Meredith. He's took off Jed and he's put on Hutch, another centre half, and he's took on Gregors for Morrison. But the gaffer's done his job. We are, as Lee said in his post-match interview, we're one catch from Wembley. Dave Martin's been fantastic all afternoon, and the ball comes, I've had to watch it back and I fucking nearly cried when I did, because he's an experienced goalkeeper, and what a man, by the way, to come out on Twitter and apologise to show that he actually gives a fuck about his place in the side and what he's actually going on at the club, unlike others who I won't mention. But I don't know what he's doing. If Archer would have done it, I'd be doing my absolute fucking nut. I probably was smashing the place up. But when people said to me yesterday, I got the front to say, seeing you moan about Archer, Dave Martin's got another 15 of them in credit before he gets anywhere near Jordan Archer's fuck-ups and mishaps. He's gone up for the ball. I don't know what he's doing. He ain't even tried to catch it. He ain't even tried to parry it. I was in the kitchen stand, obviously. Some people in the Dockers were saying it was going wide anyway. But he hasn't gone to catch it. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's lost it in the sun that had decided to pop out in the last second of injury time, the weather conditions. But he doesn't try to catch it. He doesn't try to parry it. He doesn't really do anything. His hands, if you look at them, they're there. They're nowhere anywhere near close enough for him to be catching the ball. And if you look back, the devastation on his face and the other player's face just says it all. And then what that does is it absolutely fucks us, because we've taken off, and it don't just fuck us for extra time, it fucks us for penalties as well, because we've now taken off Jed, Gregors and AOB, who probably all three, if not two of them, would have definitely taken penalties. And then we move into extra time. We had Hutchinson at right back, we had Romeo right mid. We was just, in the end, we wanted to see it out for the inevitable. We wanted to see it out for the penalties. And then Fergie getting sent off in the last minute of extra time, which, by the way, was an absolute blatant red card. But in real time, it looked like Fergie was just trying to step back over him, because he's not that sort of bloke, Fergie. But with his newfound aggression, he's fucking lost his head and stamped on the back of his calf. It's an absolute blatant red card. Then, believe it or not, there is time for even more action. Brighton got up the other end, should have been given as a goal. He gets given offside, and it was never offside. And the game goes to penalties. But listen, Neil Harris has managed that team to victory. It's done. It's over. Dave Martin will never do that in a million times. One of those times he'll do that. He'll drop the ball like he did in the net. It was horrendous. It wasn't, like I say about Archer when I say it's not even goalkeeping. I don't know what he was doing. But listen, he's massively in credit with me with goalkeeping errors. Someone said to me earlier, you know, the goalkeeping situation has been a problem for 2 years and it's come back to bite Harris in the arse. Maybe. I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that, definitely. But if anything, you could say Martin should have been in the team a long time ago, you know, which would have given him more games, which would have given him, not experience, but, you know, more game time, getting into doing the right habits and the right things. you can't blame, in my opinion, if you're blaming the manager after that yesterday, you're being a bit of a sport brat, in my opinion, because he has done his job, the manager. He can't odds what Dave Martin's done there. It's a freak. It will never happen again. Well, it probably will happen again, and it'll probably happen to us, because that's what happens to Millwall. But listen, we go into penalties, we get a bit of luck, they hit the bar with their first one, and we score our first three. Marlon Romeo, Jake Cooper, ain't got a problem with him. Juicy Jake, I've got to say, I've managed to chuckle about your penalty, mate. I don't know what the fuck you was doing. I don't know what you was doing. You should have just run out and tried to edit off the spot, because it wasn't a shot, I don't know what it was. It was the way he shot the ball was comical, but you can't knock them. You don't know whether the gaffer selected the penalty takers or he's asked who wants to take a penalty. So fair play to Marlon, fair play to Coops. They'll only learn from that. Yeah, so that's the game done. You know, I ain't going to dwell on it too much, but what's killed me yesterday is mate, the highs and the lows. It just zaps out the stadium. The euphoria and the feeling that you get when, you know, Millwall play like that and the games like that. You usually have to pay a geezer 40 quid to turn up to your door and buy something off him. It's the emotions is outrageous, and to do as well as we did for so long in the game, and then I just felt for the players more than anything. I felt for the players, because all I'm interested in is staying in this division. And as it turns out, we would have gone to Wembley and got beaten about 15-0 by Man City. Listen, without doubt, that would have happened. Don't even think, oh no, we're up for it. We had a chance. End of story. They'll beat Brighton about 4-0. They would have beaten us probably about 8 or 9. So we've had a fantastic cup run. I just hope we can now continue it in the league after Birmingham. It's international break now, but I'm deflated today. I didn't want to do this video. In the interest of staying professional, I did do this video. Yeah, so that's a lot. I hope you've enjoyed it. There was probably other stuff I didn't cover that I wanted to. I did make notes, but my head's still a little bit fucked up from yesterday, if I'm honest. Fair play to the team, fair play to the manager, fair play to the fans yesterday. Again, another brilliant advert for the FA Cup, another brilliant showing of our club to the public, the loving public. And everyone's talking about Millwall once again. That's it. It is an international break now, and you might not see much of me. I need a little break. I need a little lay down. After the international break, we return to Ellen Road. We've got 9 games left, and if we continue to perform like that, I'm sure we will be safe in this division. And long may we continue under Neil Harris. Get off his bollocks, please. Don't be sport brats. He done everything right yesterday. He couldn't have done any more than that. And Gaffer, that one's for you. The rest of the team, that one's for you. Dave Martin, I feel for you. Ryan Leonard, you was brilliant yesterday. You all was. Unlucky, boys. Let's get back to business. Let's stay in this division. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.